Well, hey everybody, just want to jump on real quick and give you an update on where we stand regarding going to in-person gatherings again on Sunday morning. Our elders met this past Sunday and we wrestled and prayed and we sought guidance from experts, and we've come to the conclusion that we won't be able to go to in-person gatherings until sometime in June. There were a couple of things that drove that decision making. One is the fact that we don't actually have the capacity right now to live stream. All our services are pre-recorded and then played for you on Sunday morning. We purchased the stuff that we need and we're in the process of installing it, but it just won't be, we won't be able to use it until June sometime. And if we started doing in-person gatherings before we had the ability to live stream, what that would functionally mean is that there's a lot of people who either won't come or are afraid to come, or quite frankly, they shouldn't come because they're at risk, that we would end up being, we would leave them behind. And to be honest, I just can't live with that. I as a pastor, I wouldn't feel like I was a good pastor to anybody really if I made the decision to leave a lot of people behind. So that's one of the reasons. The other reason is that we want to make sure that when you do come, that it's as safe as it possibly can be. And there's some safety procedures and protocol and things that we're looking into to make sure that that will be true for you when you come. So where it stands right now is we won't be able to meet in person until sometime in June. The elders are going to meet again on June 3rd to decide probably a definitive date and finalize some of the reopening plan. And so that's kind of where we stand right now. Also, I want to tell you about something pretty neat that happened this past week. If you watched our service last Sunday, our online service, you saw that my sister Missy and I did that service together. Well, Missy's husband, Nico, he has his parents, Nico's from Argentina and his parents live in Argentina. And because Missy and I were doing that together, his mom, his dad, and his dad's business partner all decided to attend our service. Now, the thing that makes it so interesting to me is they watched the entirety of our service and they don't understand a single word in the English language. They speak Spanish and they don't understand any English. Well, about 3/4 of the way through the service, Nico's dad calls him. He's crying and he just tells Nico, he says, look, I don't understand a word they're saying, not a single word, but I just sense that God is calling me, like he wants me to come to him. And that launched a conversation between Nico and his dad, where a couple hours later, Nico's dad ended up giving his life to Jesus Christ. So there was a man that many of us probably will never meet, in a country that many of us will probably never go to, that speaks a language that isn't English, and he doesn't understand any English, but he attended one of our online services and God spoke to him in spite of all of that stuff, and he gave his life to Christ. And I'm telling you, that is something that only God can do, and I just could not be more excited about how God is using our online services. So I want to encourage you. I know they're not exactly what we want, and I can't wait for the day where we can see each other face to face and do church together face to face again. But between here and there, I'm convinced that God is using our online services. So I want to ask you to be faithful in attending, and I want to ask you to share it and comment if you can during the service. That share is so important. It's kind of like inviting people to church. You know, I think back on that whole situation with my sister's father-in-law and him giving his life to Christ, even though he didn't understand a lick of English. And my sister and I, it all started when I picked up the phone and I just called her and I said, hey, you want to do church together? Neither of us had any idea of what hung in the balance at that moment. And you know what? You don't know what hangs in the balance in the moment where you might invite somebody to church too. You might be amazed what God might do by simply asking somebody, hey, you want to come do church with me? So share our church services. And I just think that God's going to continue to do some amazing things. I love you guys. I'll keep you updated. As soon as I know something, I'll tell you. Have a great day.